Okay, let's dive right into this. If you've ever tried to tell a story in French, like any story at all, you've probably hit that wall, right? You want to talk about your past, but then boom, you're faced with a choice. Which past tense am I supposed to use here? It's a super common puzzle, but don't worry, we're going to solve it today. I mean, just think about it for a second. When you think back on your childhood, what comes to mind? It's not just a list of events, is it? No way. You remember the feel of things, the routines, the whole atmosphere. But you also remember those specific standout moments, the ones that really stick with you. So the big question is, how do you capture both of those things in French? Okay, so take a look at this. On one side, you have Je jouais au parc tous les jours. That's like, I used to play at the park every day. It's a routine, right? Something that happened over and over. But on the other side, you've got Un jour, j'ai trouvé un chat. One day, I found a cat. Totally different vibe. That's a specific, one-time thing. Now here's the kicker. Both are perfectly correct, but they're describing the past in two completely different ways. And that is the heart of the puzzle we're going to crack. All right, to really get this, I want you to do something for me. Stop thinking like you're in a grammar class for a minute and start thinking like a movie director. Seriously. Because in your French storytelling toolkit, you've basically got two different cameras to shoot the past. And when you learn how to use both of them together, well, that's when you can create a really amazing scene. So your first camera is called L'Imparfait. Think of this as your director of photography. It's your wide-angle lens, the one you use for that big, beautiful, establishing shot. You use it to paint the picture, It sets the mood, describes the background. It tells us what things were like or what used to happen all the time. It's all about atmosphere. And then you've got your second camera, Le Passé Composé. Now, if the Imparfait is the scene setter, the Passé Composé is your action hero. This is your action director, the one who yells cut. It's all about capturing those key events, the specific things that happened and pushed the plot forward. This guy is the star of the show. All right, let's zoom in on our director of photography first. Let's see how the Imparfait really works its magic to build the world of your story. So, the Imparfait is your go-to for a few key things. First, background descriptions. What the weather was like, what people were wearing, that kind of stuff. Second, habitual actions. Anything you used to do on a regular basis. It's also perfect for ongoing states or emotions. Think about how you were feeling over a period of time. And this is a big one, it's used to set the stage right before something important happens. And here's the classic example. Il faisait beau. The weather was nice. See? It wasn't nice for just a split second and then it was over. It was a continuous state, an ongoing condition. This is the perfect backdrop, the atmosphere for the story you're about to tell. And you know what the best part is? Forming the Imparfait is actually super straightforward. It's really consistent, which is great news. All you do is take the nous form of any verb, like nous parlons. Then you just chop off the ans at the end. That gives you your stem, so parlons. And from there, you just stick on the right Imparfait ending. That's it. Easy, right? Okay, scene set. The atmosphere is perfect. Now what? Well, now you need some action. So let's bring in our action director. It's time to call action with the Passé Composé. So the Passé Composé's job is crystal clear. It's all about the main plot points. We're talking about specific, completed actions, things that are finished, done, over with. These are the one-time events that make your story an actual story and not just a pretty description. This is what moves everything forward. Check out this example. J'ai lu un livre hier. I read a book yesterday. The action, reading the book, is specific. It happened yesterday. And here's the key. It's completed. You started it, you finished it. That event is like a neat little block that you've just placed on your story's timeline. And its name, Passé Composé, literally means compound past. That tells you everything you need to know about how to build it. It's a compound. It has two parts. You just take a helping verb, either avoir or être, and then you add the past participle of your main verb. That's the whole formula. Two parts for one single completed action. Okay, but here's where it gets really good. Any great director will tell you the magic isn't in just using one camera. No, the real genius is in the final cut, right? It's when you edit the shots from both cameras together. That's how you create drama, suspense, a story that people actually want to follow. And in French storytelling, there's this classic go-to technique. It's called the interruption scene. It's so cool. What you do is you use the imparfait to describe something that was happening in the background, and then bam, you interrupt it with a sharp, specific event using the Passé Composé. This sentence right here is the perfect example of that technique in action. Je lisais. I was reading. See, that's our background scene, our establishing shot. Everything is calm, it's just happening. That's the imparfait. And then, boom, quand le téléphone a sonné, when the phone rang. That's the interruption, a single completed action in the Passé Composé that just completely changes the scene. So, there you have it, your two main tools. You've got your scene setter, and you've got your action hero. And once you really get their different jobs, you can finally stop just listing things that happened in the past and start telling a real, compelling story. So let's do a quick final recap to lock it all in. Okay, so here's the bottom line. This is your cheat sheet. Use the imparfait for the scene. That means background habits, anything that feels like was doing or used to be. Think of it like il faisait froid. It was cold. It's all about setting the mood. Then you bring in the Passé Composé for the action. These are your specific completed events, the I did something moments, like j'ai visité le Louvre, I visited the Louvre. Done. Finished. One paints the backdrop, the other makes things happen on it. So, the toolkit is officially yours now. You've got your camera for the atmosphere, and you've got your camera for the action. You're not just a French student anymore. You're a director. You're a storyteller. So the only real question left is, what story are you going to tell?